So I
Yeah.
think some of my videos came across as like, go figure, she decided to parent. It was us being pissed at the agency.
From my perspective, what you experienced there was one of the adoption agency's manipulation tactics. Because it is, for birth parents who are in the room, it's a lot different knowing that adoptive parents are in the next room excited and you've seen their faces and how
Mhm.
they feel. And if
Yeah.
someone changes their mind or a dad decides to step up, that's a lot more pressure to not parent your own child so that this adoption will go through. So
Yeah.
that maybe needs to not happen. That maybe we need to let parents give birth, let the mother heal a little bit, because you're out of your mind postpartum. There's no way you
Yes.
can make any sound decisions 48 hours after you give birth. I can't even imagine. I was completely delirious. There's no way that we should be doing that to postpartum women. So I would think that we would need to give them a little bit of time to heal, look at the baby they just had, sit or not sit with the decision for a little bit. And then when they are sure, and everybody is sure, then we sign papers and enter legally binding contracts for life and make a
So
transfer like that.
you're right. I mean, we experienced being in the room two different times with the parents, and we specifically asked the adoption agency. They asked us to be in the room. Like the agency said, it wasn't the agency asking. I said, "How would you like this to go down?" I said, "Would after the 48 hours, do you want us to come to the hospital? Do you
Yeah.
want us in the waiting room? Do you want us in the room? However you want this to happen, this is your choice." They said, "No, like they're like, I don't know if I want your husband in the room, but like, we're fine with you in the room," kind of thing. So for people to say you coerce them by being in the room and being around them, they asked us to be a part of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I get that. I still think that it's different when you're looking at your child, and it's different especially for men and fathers, as you've experienced. Once their child is born, things kind of change for them.
Hmm.
I think that's all fathers. The first time seeing the child is different than just seeing a woman pregnant. I think that the pre-birth matching practice is can be manipulated and hurtful to both sides, because I just don't think we're ready to make that decision yet. You said adoption was on the table from very early on. And I think a lot of people do know very early on that they have the capacity to love a child that's not biologically theirs. I absolutely think that that is a possibility. But it's almost like when you start on this journey, especially not knowing that for profits are going to try to take advantage of you and don't care about your feelings and will put you through the emotional ringer over and over again, it puts you on a roller coaster, but one that you're sprinting on. It's like
Yeah.
you're a hamster on a roller coaster and you're just on this ride and you're sprinting as fast as you can to this goal to try to help this baby. And well, that didn't fall through, but you're getting another phone call immediately after. It's just a lot.
You're right. It is a lot. But the thing is, we were very open in our preferences. The agency that we worked with only has, I don't know, 20, let's say, families in kind of that pending situation where they'll choose from those 20 families. So for example, ours didn't go through, the first one didn't go through. There was a drop-in case that happened. It The criteria we were looking for, which was very open, fell into that criteria. So them having known what we had just experienced, they did ask us, do we want to stay active or do we want to take some time and process? And honestly, the first one, we were just disgusted on how it all went down. So we were like, we're more jaded by just the situation. We weren't, so at that point, we're like, let's just stay active. So I think that was them trying to kind of fix things that really went
Right.
sour very quickly. But what I also think, maybe it was my poor delivery, but they don't understand that we don't want a child that is wanted by their family. And I don't say, I know
Yeah.
every
No.
mom
Yeah.
in an ideal situation would want their child. I know that we don't live in a perfect world. But so these families, if they want to parent, like, please, by all means, parent. We don't want to build a relationship based off of somebody who has resentment towards us. So I
Yeah.
think some of my videos came across as like, go figure, she decided to parent. It was us being pissed at the agency. It came out, it was us being pissed at the mom
Yeah.
because this had happened 3 times. So in my head, I'm like, go figure, she decided to parent. It's the agency that we were like, what is happening that they're not doing the due diligence and coaching and counseling on the front end
Yeah.
that they should be doing to even get these parents clearly they're missing the mark on a lot of things. So my frustration came out as like people took that as it was angry towards the mom. I don't want a child, a baby who a family feels as though they can support them. By all
Right.
means, go give it your best shot and do that. So I wanted to just clarify
Yeah,
that.
no, I get that, and I hear you, and I think that what happens is adoptees and even adoptive parents and birth parents, they're kind of coming from the place of like, I've seen this before, I've seen this play out before, and it didn't end well.
I mean, the third adoption, we had the counselor. I looked at her and I said, "This isn't going to go through." And she said, "No, I've been working with her. There is no way this isn't going through." And I was like, "I don't know how you can say that to me. I literally don't know how you can just see
Yeah,
how this has just unfolded and then tell me that this is going to go through." She's like, "No, I've worked with her for 3 months. I know her situation. She's not in that position." So they were. I mean, it was disgusting how much they were pushing us to be like, no, 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 we're going to make this happen. And in a different adoption, we overheard phone calls with the caseworker and the supervisors talking about ways that you need to approach this conversation with the birth mom. There's a lot of things that you and I agree on. There's a
yeah,
lot of disgusting stuff that happens. My point in sharing my story is I don't think people talk about this side of the adoption stuff. And I know people didn't like the way it came across, but this is the reality of what goes on behind the scenes.